The only thing that you guys didn't mention is at the very start of the session, the little thing that burst out of the head of Cooper, the scientist,
Just a
scuttled,
little
just
thing.
just took off across the room and into the vents, and through the vents. But with Cham and Ryan Davis aboard the Daisy, now piloting itself outside of the Daisy. I'm not good with ship names, all right? In small ship, piloting small ship outside big ship, and other ship, boom. Okay, so those are the three ships. Wilson and the
Well,
crew of what?
2 ships now.
Two ships.
Two
Okay,
ships
so I'm
now.
not even good at counting ships. That's where I'm at with ships. Wilson, Miller, and the crew of the big ship are just waiting, and surely with all the ships happening, things will be
getting dicey. Getting dicey.
Are we back?
Interception from Mother.
Yeah, sorry. I think the corporate Wayland Yutani is taking over.
No.
Okay, all right. Let's
It's the proxy server for sure.
yeah. Okay. Let's get some sounds going. We're going to see. I instantly clicked the Montero sound. I don't want the Montero sounds.
That doesn't exist anymore.
I can just delete those now, right? All right. Cronus sounds, which do sound very similar to the Montero sounds, but they're all Cronusy instead. We're going to be back on board the Cronus with Miller and Wilson. What I will do before we get things going was just going to take a we're going to take an air supply roll from both Miller and Wilson. We're not going to do the same roll for the others because on board the Montero and on board the Daisy, they've had air supply.
Daisy.
Yeah. You've had air supply sorted. So let's just get some rolls.
Wilson rolls a success, 2 2s, and a facehugger.
Let's have a look. So you rolled a success. Miller did not roll a success, which means it's a success means you got to reduce your air supply by 1.
Yes.
By the time
You win asphyxiation. Yay!
by the time that the days, well, I'm assuming they're going to end up back on board. But let's say it takes a while for them to get back on board. It's probably going to have a few more air supply rolls by then. So we're going to do one more air supply roll each from Miller. Yeah.
Yep.
How about us crew on the Daisy? Just yeet.
Yeah. Just keep breathing.
Just get out.
Be good.
We're probably all hyperventilating. So much oxygen.
Wilson succeeded this time as well. He's happy with himself. He remembers in, out, just like the training program.
All right. So that's you got to knock off another air
Down
supply.
to deuce now.
You got 2 left. Okay. All right. So while the crew have been doing what they've been doing, there was a certain point where the countdown stopped in our suit heads, like speakers, right? We'd been following along. We'd been hearing some chatter between them, and then it stopped, and then there's just been static and silence. Miller and Wilson are unsure what's happened with the other crew at the moment. They could, from the other crew's point of view, you know that you're out of range. The systems that were connecting you was the mother on board the Montero. And so there's no connection between you 3 on board the Daisy and Wilson and Miller on the Cronus. Miller, while this countdown, this 10-minute countdown has been going on, and let's say it's maybe even past a few more minutes since then, what's Wilson been up to?
So initially, after he sent Miller with that little amendment to go and get the crew, if you remember that last time, he's essentially said that force is authorized. So initially, in the first few minutes, he's confident that Miller's got it all under control, and he's gone back to his little tablet looking at those important updates that he's had come through, and he's maybe spent a bit of time chatting to, is it Clayton, the other? Yep. And he's been reading up in the appendices of corporate policy, and he's discovered something pretty dramatic. He's trying to keep it to himself for the moment, but he's kind of glossed over some of the radio calls recently, but you can see a smile appear on his face.
Okay. It's not too long. It's probably even during this countdown. The others aren't 100% sure what's going on. They're trying to the crew from the Cronus have been trying to get updates from you, Wilson, about what's been happening. Are you keeping them up to date with that? Did you keep them up to date with that countdown, or what's Wilson sort of said to the others?
Wilson sort of will break off his concentration and be like, "Oh, look, Miller's got it well in hand. She's the best captain over there at the moment, and it'll be fine. She's done this like every day. Don't worry about it. Just sure. Just talk to me again in another 25 minutes. That'd be good. Thanks."
Yeah.
Miller's the best captain that was available.
The crew of the Cronus have slowly been getting all of their stuff out of the cryo chamber lockers and sort of getting dressed, because they had all been in their cryo gear. And you've been sort of watching them, and each of them have sort of gotten back into their what they'd be wearing on this ship, and they've all been sort of pocketing their little bits and pieces out of their lockers as well. You notice that Clayton secures a small pistol to her side as well. Other people, like Flynn the medic, he's just sort of pulled out that little kit that he showed you, the syringe. He's got some other just medical stuff he's putting in his overcoat. The Marine on board, all she had was a set of clothes, military style clothing, and a shotgun, which she ran for earlier. And the main officer, or the second in charge of the Cronus, who now finds himself in charge, he too's just sort of suited up, grabbed his little key card, put it in his pocket, and secured his military pistol on his hip as well. Miller has been sort of standing quite calmly, I think. She's been standing in the hallways, just sort of listening in, trying to be as professional as she could, listening to the chatter over the radios and hearing that countdown, uncertain about what you're doing, and also knowing she's going to have to go back and let Wilson know that she didn't manage to stop them, and waits for that countdown to finish, and just it has that clear static just running through the headset. She clicks off the radio and turns to head back down to where everyone else, back to the cryo area. And there's just a rattling in one of the vents at her side, and she thinks to that thing that ran out of burst its way out of the head of the Cronus scientist, and she just stops, and she just stays completely silent, and she grabs her pistol from her side and just makes her way slowly through that hallway. Every step a silent step. Wilson, back in the cryo chamber, Clayton I think really is interested in knowing more about the this order that you've received, because she's got her own things that she needs to sort of figure out as well, and she pulls you over to the side, and she says, so Wilson, what is the order?
Wilson's can't hide his smile now. He's like, All right. So you've seen the appendices, right? HR section 254 and the classic, risks mitigation section. You know those, right?
They've probably been updated quite a lot in the however long we've been under.
74 years. Yeah. Just trust me, I know them pretty well. I've been to those parts of the company more than once with the old, But anyway,
Twice.
Exactly. My order, special number 966.
It's a high one. It's a large number.
Pretty good. It's pretty good. But I've been reading over this past little while. It's actually cumulative with your order. So it's like order 1566.
Great. So what are the orders? I need to, just so I can, and she's making sure that no one else is hearing it. And she's sort of up against your suit, just leaning in. What do we need to do?
I could talk about these numbers a bit longer if you want, because it's pretty exciting.
If we can focus on just the orders.
Okay, well, the numbers are like the North Star of the direction that the company wants to go, Wailangi. And we are merely just in the constellation of stars, but aiming towards where we need to be.
Were you given anything other than the number?
Yeah.
She asks, yeah?
Oh, yeah. But, I'm just using my natural corporate lingo, which is something I've been really aching to flex, because some of these guys, they don't enjoy it. Like, you could say a sentence in like 2 or 3 words, but we at corporate, we love to say it in about 75 words. So did you guys do that like 75 years ago?
It was more truncated. We were sort of, that must have been a new age thing.
All right. Well, the gist of it is we need to get all the stuff from the Cronus, including the A03959X.91-15 chemical agent back to headquarters. That is Prumino Umino. Very important. That's the thing that you hold up in Singapore.
Crumino Umino.
Crumino.
That's space talk.
I was going to say space talk.
For important.
As a juxtaposition, there's just a very quick flash over to the Daisy where Cham has regained his senses and he's burping the alphabet, and then it flashes back.
Accurate. There's someone on the radio doing that. Never mind. This is career catapult material. So you want your own corporate box? It's coming your way. You want your own team, your own budget. She
is smiling. She understands. She is excited. She said, all I need to do is bring this a sample of the strain back as well. So we're on the same page here. Okay, we're on the same page. And she waves over John's, who is now in control of the Cronus. And she's like, "What, John's? We need to make sure that this ship is good to get us back to Earth. We need to make sure this is good to go." And he's a bit clearer now. It's been 10-15 minutes since they came out of cryosleep. It's even started warming up a lot now. It's almost all of that frost is gone, and it's actually feeling quite comfortable aboard the Cronus now. The air is still really stale, though. Very hard to breathe on here. And he sort of says, well, there's probably 3 things we need to do. We need to get some new air filters into the air scrubbers. That's what's going on with. That's why it's so hard to breathe. Those things haven't been changed literally in 70 years. It sounds like the systems are all on, but that should mean the engines are going, and I'm not hearing the engines. We need to get those engines back online. I've been fiddling around with the terminal, and it looks like our communications are half up at the moment. We're not going to be doing any long-range communications. So we're going to need to get that sorted as well. And I think almost at that same point as he's pointing out that terminal, there's like a flashing. Doop, 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 and we cut over to the Daisy where Rye has been trying to get in communications.
X, Y, Z.
And Rye is like, huh. Yep, very good, Cham. I'm glad you're back. Somebody answer. Hello. Come on, pick up.
Yeah, Johns rushes back over to the terminal, types into types a whole bunch of keys into the thing, and suddenly you've been routed through to the speakers in the cryo chamber.
Hey, we've made it. Is everyone still okay on the Cronus?
You just hear one of the... This is John's. You're not sure who it is. It's just a male voice. Goes, yeah. Who is this?
Oh, I also open it up so that everyone in Daisy can hear what's going on. This is Rye, Cham, Davis. We went off to try and get the Montero going.
You're okay.
Yes, we survived. No thanks to the corp. Somebody, Wilson, started the auto-destruct on the Montero. And
learning that in such simple terms, like that's the first time Cham understands that that's what happened, like, and just internalizes like, oh, okay, yep, Wilson did a bad thing. I need to deal to him.
That's actually the first time Davis has heard that it was set intentionally. Before it was just Mother going crazy. Now it's like, oh wait, you broke into everyone at the same time.
Is Wilson? What's Wilson doing while this is being broadcast out over cryo? Because like now everybody in the Cronus is looking towards Wilson and Clayton.
Oh, do you want me to take this, Clayton? Yeah, I'll take it. And Wilson's gonna stride over to the radio and pick up the door handle and try to speak into it. Microphone. Daisy, this is Wilson. I didn't blow up your ship. I can barely use my comms, and my pants are probably on backwards, but it's okay. You made it, and corporate put that little tiny spaceship in the big spaceship for you, so you'll be fine. Come on back. It's gonna work. I've got good news as well. Cumulative, subsection D46. Thank you. Wilson out.
I think his pants are on fire.
They will be when I get on that ship. But until then, we're gonna have to try and figure out a way to get this little ship on that big ship.
Oh, should we close comms now?
Wait. And John's sort of gets back over to the microphone. The lower deck. I'm gonna see if I can get that open for you. I'll get that, and he's tapping away on the keyboard, and you can see these flashings of light from lower outside the window of the Daisy at the lower deck of the Cronus. You now see these flashing, spinning orange lights as this front of the Cronus like slowly opens up. This ramp. And from your point of view, Davis, it's going to be a tight fit. The Daisy is pretty... Like, the Cronus wasn't built for a ship the size of the Daisy to easily come and go.
Oh,
if you know what I mean.
Daisy is a chunky girl. Okay, Davis, I'll throw it over to you. Wilson, I will see you in a little while. This is the Daisy out.
Thank you, employee.
Savage.
Didn't even get a number, not even like employee number 4.
So what's the plan, Davis?
So, as much as we've had this and we're floating in front of the Cronus, anyone on board has noticed that the Daisy's not actually moving. It's kind of pointed at the Cronus, and Davis is at the controls, but just kind of staring at the controls.
Is Davis okay?
Yeah, Davis, you good? What's going on?
This is...
It was pretty crazy back there. I get it, but you got to pull it together. We need you right now.
Oh, I'm together, which is why I'm trying to figure out why I'm driving back onto that ship. Other than the fact that this little thing will not get us anywhere.
It will not get us anywhere. Our best hope is to get onto the other ship We'll fix it up. We'll hunt down that little thing, whatever it is,
Wilson.
and then we'll get that little alien.
little thing.
We will fry that little thing, and then we will fry Wilson, and then we will fry the alien, and then we will sail home.
Save Miller. Miller is part of the crew. We kill Wilson. Wilson is a dirt bag. A bag of dirt. And then we get out of here on whatever will take us out of here.
Out of the mouths of Chams.
Yeah, I guess that we can't launch Wilson from an airlock from here.
Nope.
So I guess we are going back on board.
Yeah, Davis knows all too well that you're not going to get far in the Daisy. There's probably not even much air, not enough air to get through a 24-hour period. It's not what the Daisy was made for.
There's no better options. Okay, well, buckle in. It's there's gonna be cozy.
Speaking of cozy, can you give me a piloting roll?
It seems unlikely.
I know you're a good pilot. You're the best pilot there is. But
So full of stress.
but this
Twitch it.
Piloting. Oh, please don't kill us all.
Oh,
Boy, howdy! Davis is the best pilot you've ever seen.
that is actually an exceptionally good roll with 3 successes.
Do viewers of the stream see the rolls?
They don't get to see the result as we see it in the chat, unfortunately.
yeah.
I wonder if I could actually change that, because I feel like they
No, don't do more fancy things.
The actual flames in your room.
It shouldn't be a big thing to do.
that's not a special effect.
Famous last
He is
words.
actually on fire.
Let's see if I can. Oh, maybe I can. Maybe I can fit that in.
Adjust the flex capacitor.
His room is getting dicey.
Oh yeah, that works.
But there's like a big gap in the bottom. It's oh shit. What are we doing? We're gonna make this happen because I feel like it's a necessity.
I just feel like people should see that particular roll. Like, I don't want them to see any of my rolls that are coming up.
I'm just saying 6.
Yeah, look
that's
at that. So that was
with no
that's
ones.
perfect,
there.
right?
We go. We can see it all now.
Beautiful.
We'll take a photo of it, load it up on the Patreon.
It's just for Patreon supporters.
We'll make t-shirts of it. You buy a t-shirt to find out the roll result.
Yeah. So yeah, with the like, that was a really good skill roll. So you get to do a couple of things here. Remember, when you get more than one, you can do something with those others.
That's right. Let me look that up.
I'm just.
Because you gave us that in the journal, didn't you?
Handbrake.
Oh yeah, I
Slide
gave that
all
in
the
the
way in.
journal. I did give that in the journal.
Okay. So what it is Davis comes around and is like, okay, we're doing this. Okay, we're just gonna get this over and done with. Hits the accelerator hard, like really just opens up the throttle more than people would necessarily expect when you're just in front of where you're meant to be. And Davis is a little bit uncaring at this point as well, and is coming towards this gap and kind of eyeballs it and goes, wait a minute. At the last minute, hits the thrusters in the other direction, again, kind of spins the back of the ship round and like reverses it in. And she's like, if we're going to leave it after this, we're going to go for it. Let's make sure we're in the right direction. I mean, inside,
Like drifting into a parking space.
yeah, pretty much, like a glove. So
I'm
really, I'm
not
using
going to lie, Davis. That was pretty hot.
Sick.
Yeah. So you do manage to do it exactly as you've described there. The only thing is that it was a very tight fit, and you don't leave the Daisy undamaged, even as great of a roll as that was. The vehicle bay of the Cronus is just not large enough.
Oh, we lost the wing mirrors.
Yeah, you managed to like scrape the bay walls and ceiling on the way in. Your thrusters, and cab sort of just manage to scrape, and you end up on a little bit of an angle, which means like you're in, and it fits, but it's barely. And the ramp again, those orange flashing lights start rotating, and the ramp starts raising. You can see there's like, we cut to Johns, who's tapping away on the terminal upstairs, and he sort of says, "All right, I think they're good." And we cut back, and there's like sparks and stuff going everywhere, and the entire vehicle bay repressurizes as steam starts pouring in from around you as the room gets filled back up with oxygen. We're going to cut back up to I've put your tokens down on vehicle deck D, or the Cronus deck D. Feel free to just move them into that vehicle bay. But we're going to go back up with Jones and Wilson and the crew all are. And Wilson, the door to this area just opens up, and you see Miller standing in the doorway looking a little worried, holding onto her pistol just as she left. And she's like looking over her shoulder as she comes into the room, and then the door's shut, and she puts her gun on her hip, and she walks up to you and she says, "Well, I didn't manage to stop them."
You got lost, eh?
No.
It's okay. You got lost.
And she sort of drags you into one of the other cryo rooms, where there are sort of empty cryo beds. And she says, "Look, I'm doing everything that you want me to be doing. I want to guarantee that when this is over, I get a fat paycheck, okay? I want to make sure that I am looked after. I want my own ship, okay? I want my own ship, Wilson."
Let me say, Miller, I don't like you, but
I don't like you either, okay?
Look, you come in to me, and you're like, "Oh, hey, it didn't do my job. I'll give you a big ship." What? But I'm in a good mood because yeah, the cumulative. Come. And he's gonna take Miller further to the corner of the cryo chamber. 966 plus. That's the one that looks like a little bit of a T. T for plus. That's where I remember it. Plus 5 plus 600. 1566. Normally I'll be all the grumpy and I'll be doing the compliance conversations with you, Miller, but this is a shit ton of an order. So a ship for yourself isn't off the cards. Like, it's going to be really decent, not just for us either. Like, sometimes us corporate folk, we take a little bit of the top, and then, the workers eventually, whatever. But this is heaps. So it's all right. Whatever happened. You can pay me back for that deluxe meal from the vending machine. Everyone is going to be in a good spot. We just need to get back to Weyland-Yutani.
You tell me what I need to do. I'll get it done, and then I'm out. I'm out from underneath this whole corporate bullshit. I get paid enough so I never have to see you or anyone from Weyland-Yutani ever again.
Oh.
I'm one mission away from retirement.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm getting too old for this ship.
Well, yeah, let's see about that. What I'd like you to do, have a chat to Clayton and Johns, and what are those called? The things that people keep talking about. Details. Yeah. Go talk to them about the details and figure it out.
All right, I'm going to get another air supply roll from Miller and Wilson.
Nice. Wilson doesn't succeed. All right.
And no success from Vanessa Miller as well. Okay. All right, Miller just storms off out of the room. We'll cut back down to deck D of the Cronus, where the Daisy has now, I'd say parked. Let's call it parked.
How
Honestly,
big
of all the
is
options, this
Daisy
was the
in
best
that
one.
space?
At least we can walk off this.
How big is the Daisy in that space? Like,
It is filling up like the majority of this space. The Daisy is like, I believe, how large was the
34
Daisy?
meters.
I think it's just the fact that it's a bit of a wide.
like
Let's just say it's taken up like. Let's draw something to show where it's at. So let's draw something like this, and then can we?
oh, it's landed on me.
I don't know if I can rotate it, but it's basically. Here we go. Let's just say it's kind of landed. It's scraped its way kind of in and landed around this area. You guys can be inside. It's not on top of.
Yeah.
Inside of the Daisy.
Yeah. Cham is going to go full Mama Bear protector mode for his favorite crew members, and is going to be lifting them around and like pulling them up out of their seats or seat belts or whatever, and like carrying his two friends out of the Daisy, and preferably out of the vehicle bay, like one in each hand, like they are just grocery bags.
Okay.
I make sure
Cham,
Cham's
what are your
helmet is
things?
on.
Yeah, you guys step out into the vehicle bay, or carried out into the vehicle bay to be returned to that very stale air. So you're welcome to get your suits back on if you're wanting to have fresh air, I guess, because there is going to be a debuff to anyone without their helmet on. So
Yeah, no, so hang on, Cham. I appreciate the help, but I actually need to do some post-flight work on the Daisy. You look after Rye. I'll be right with you. And goes back to the console and makes motions of checking the Daisy.
yeah, there's a lot of flashing lights where there shouldn't be flashing lights.
Yep. Tap a couple of them. Look busy whilst the others hopefully get off the ship.
Yeah, there's been enough damage to the thrusters that are kind of all just like, you just start flicking a few buttons and it just sort of like shutters and just sort of it powers down in a way worse way than you've heard it power down before.
Not
Davis is going to
ominous.
keep looking at various consoles and tapping things. I'm right with you guys.
Right.
I think there's elevators near here, if I remember the schematics. Should be able to go up from there.
Okay. When we're outside,
I'll make sure the
outside of
Daisy's fine. You
Daisy-
go. I'll
Yep.
catch up.
So when Cham and I are outside the Daisy, I asked to be put down, and then turn to Cham. And Cham, that was the payload. That was our way out of corpse slavery, and it's gone up in a puff of smoke. I don't know what they're going to do. So I think we might have to look out for ourselves. I don't mean like taking out people, but I'm like, if you see anything potentially valuable, let me know, because I think we might have to put it aside for ourselves, because that's probably the only way we're getting paid. Just between you and me.
Yeah. Cham glances over at the Daisy in a way that suggests like, can we take that? Anything we could do about that?
It's smoking and sparking in different areas.
It's a little more broken than I think it could, but I don't know. I don't think there's anything on it. I think there's probably going to be more valuable stuff on the ship. I mean, it's the magical lost ship from 70 years ago, so there's going to be at least 70-year-old artifacts on this thing. People back at the base will be frothing to get their hands on stuff off the Cronus, so...
We take it to Tatooine.
Yes, we take it to Tatooine, yes.
Get money for pod racers.
Cham's favorite, like 900-year-old movie. He just loves it. The garage. Now that you're standing within this vehicle bay, there are a couple of like all-terrain vehicles that have just been knocked over. They obviously weren't strapped down, or maybe they were knocked from their straps when the Daisy sort of came through into the ship. You can see above you that it's quite a tall. You can actually see up into the deck above, and there's catwalks sort of making their way above you, quite a way up from where you are right now, and a loading crane up above there is on deck C as well. Deep shadows are just cast everywhere down here. It looks like it's not overly well lit. Some of the lights have been busted from the entrance as well, but it's pretty clean, all things considering. It's really not. It's just a bit dusty from disuse, and there's a bunch of settled debris. At the south, there are just like some doors, and to your left and the right of this big landing area, there are a bunch of sort of airlocks that are signposted, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, and as well as 2 elevators. The elevator on the right of this room, the doors are open, and the elevator car is just like has obviously dropped and smashed, and is just laying broken at the bottom of the elevator shaft.
Don't use that one, Cham.
Okay. You got it, boss. What about that one?
That one looks like it might be serviceable. Is there anything down here of value?
There's I'll say you guys take like a turn, which is 5 minutes, to take a look around. I will need an air supply roll from everyone who's well, let's go. Everyone at 5 minutes is going to pass. We'll get an air supply roll from everybody.
Air supply.
Including Wilson and Miller upstairs.
Where's my air supply?
Should be in the consumables section.
I feel like it's always me because I'm smushing everything to fit on my computer. Consumables. Oh my
Wilson
God.
fails to succeed. All right.
Hey.
Nice. Miller has succeeded, which means a point of air removed. Anyone else? Davis, Cham, all good. No successes there.
How was that?
Perfect. No successes either,
successes.
which is what you're looking for. All right, so it's just Miller whose air supply is starting to get pretty low. But yeah, so at the bottom there looks to be like a vehicle parts storage room, a little dispatch office, and a parts storage, equipment shed. Honestly, any reasonable tool that your characters might be looking for, they will probably find within one of those 3 rooms. So it's within reason.
Cham already has a large wrench as a weapon. What he's going to spend his 5 minutes looking for is a slightly larger wrench.
Okay. You know what? I don't know if Cham's been on a ship this big before, and they need like some pretty large wrenches for some of the stuff on board.
Big two-hander.
Yeah, the kind that you've got to like really grab on and really crank things. So you find like a decent sized wrench.
Yeah, he throws his old one away like it's garbage.
Oh.
And on your wrench.
What did we give your wrench in regards to stats?
It was. Let me just bring it back up. Damage 1, weight 1, close range.
Yeah, we'll ramp it up to weight 2, damage 2.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a two-hander though, unlike your other wrench. So if you're going to wield this, it's going to leave you with both hands on it.
Yep.
Cool. Anything else that the others might be looking for down in this section of the ship?
Well, just once Rye and Cham had left the ship and Davis is like all clear, can I interact with my my signature item to reduce some stress and also pop some pills?
Yeah. I just need to hear a good to reduce that stress. I need to know how you interact with it.
Yeah, so it's like, tapping and like flicking switches and levers, which Davis knows do absolutely nothing at all until everyone's off. He's like, double check, and just fishes out the little lucky rabbit's foot, quickly unscrews the lid, clinkles it, and unfortunately there's only 2 little pills left. All right, down the hatch. Puts the little rabbit's foot back, gives it a rub, and then back into the suit. Just like puts her hands on the console for a moment.
Okay, great. Reduce your stress by 1, please.
And then looks for a screwdriver.
Okay, yeah, you absolutely... you join the others at sort of the southern side of this deck D and manage to find yourself a screwdriver as well.
Is there like maybe some kind of work bag or satchel that maybe I can put a few little things in? Because I'm gonna assume that we're gonna need to do some kind of patching of stuff. So I'm just getting like little tools, box cutter, tape, or something. Also looking for like any little expensive, like but portable pieces of shippery.
Yeah. What sort of stuff? Just like small technical kind of components. Is that what
Yes.
you're looking for? Absolutely. You find, first of all, you do absolutely find like a little work bag that has just been left displayed. It's very old. It's a very old leather one.
Leather.
But it's
Oh my
just
gosh.
it's dusty, but it's but it looks like it's in pretty good condition. And you manage to check around the equipment shed, the vehicle parts storage, and find just a few small components to add into your ship, into your bag. So I think if at any point you're going to need components, we'll add like an extra help dice to your rolls.
Yes.
Good thing we did
Find
actually.
an iPhone 87,
Yeah,
and you're like, ooh, 87.
this is so
Ugh.
old.
87S. It's even worse.
Back up on deck A, you see Miller walk out of the room with Wilson, and she just grabs at the Weyland-Yutani patch where it would be on her jacket. Sort of, she's within the suit at the moment. She reaches and she's just like, she hates that it's on her arm at this point after what's happened. But this is her way of interacting with it to de-stress. It's like, I cannot wait to get out of the suit so I can tear this badge off my sleeve. So she's just going to reduce her stress by 1 as well. She's going to spend some time sort of just talking to some of the crew, trying to understand a little bit more about what went on, trying to understand anything about where they were, what they've brought on board, what the hell happened to Cooper, and so that's how she's going to just spend the next few turns. The crew down in deck D, what are your plans for getting back, or do you have other plans?
We did get a copy of the layout of the ship.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Excellent.
Which you can just bring up onto your heads-up display at any point.
Bleep bleep bleep. Hey, so this whole thing, this whole thing is just stuff. Look, I think we need to make a better plan, and I think that better plan starts on deck B. Did you guys see the schematics when we came on board?
Oh, I glanced
Cham-
at them.
Yeah, Cham nods, but doesn't know what the word schematics means.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Very good.
I
we're
remember seeing
looking
the
ship
armory.
map.
Yeah, the
Ship
armory's up on level B. Maybe we get a insurance policy before we go back.
And visit Wilson.
Yeah. Or I mean, this whole place. I don't think it's a bad idea. Hey, well, I mean, even Wilson aside, we'll be doing everyone a favor if we stuck through.
There is a thing in the vents. Let's stay away from vents.
You say that, and there are like, just in this room alone, there are like 6, 2, 4, 6. There's 10 like vent openings on the walls at sort of waist height, just dotted around. You're looking at all of them as you say that.
So,
Keep
what
your
do you-
eyes
Very venti.
venties.
Yeah, all the more reason why we should maybe stop past the armory. We could probably take this elevator up that way and then and go from there.
No, I agree. This is a great idea. Also, just checking out the map, there's a whole bunch of other things up there that can be useful. Ava suits. Because that, yeah, we did so much damage to the entry with the umbilical. I think we're going to need as much gear as we can grab.
Okay, shall we make it to level B then? And then we can...
Yes.
Then we can
And
go
whilst
one
we're
day
there,
real
we can check out the... What do you call it? Driver seats.
Cockpit.
The bridge.
That's the one.
No,
That's the
I
one.
do believe the technical term is driver's seats. I think that
Driver's
is-
seats.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, good plan.
It's what they called them 72 years ago.
Yeah.
All right, shall we then?
Go, Cham, lead the way. And he hefts his big wrench and gestures for you to like fall in behind him. And then he bravely heads towards the elevator. The correct
Excellent.
one that he's been instructed to go to.
Yeah.
The one that is
The,
not...
the not broken one.
Yeah. Yep. Cham, you slam your hand against the call button on the or maybe you slam your wrench into it, but light enough to not break it. And there's just like in the whirring of this mechanical pulley system, bringing this old ancient elevator rattling down. Wilson and Miller and the crew of the Cronus hear the elevator kick into gear, and Miller's like, okay, that must be them.
Are we able to like comm them?
Yeah, I'll say at this point the mother system on board has picked up on the 3 new communication systems that have just appeared down in the deck D, and you can hear the static clear up. So yeah, you'll be
Okay.
able to use them again now.
Yay. Hey, we made it on board. We're heading up.
Okay, we'll see.
Don't
We'll see you soon.
don't go anywhere, Wilson.
We'll meet you in cryo.
Okay. Don't blow up the Montero. Oh, wait.
You son of a... And then Davis cut.
So you guys head to deck B instead of deck A, is that right? You all step into the elevator, hit the button for deck B, and you're on your way. Miller heads out into the hallways of deck A to meet you guys in the just to see what's happening with the elevators. She steps out into the hallway. But as she steps out, she readies her gun just in case, as she keeps her eyes on the far ends where the vents are. And the rattling of the elevators comes to a halt, and the doors don't open because they're opening on deck B. Let me just detail what you guys see stepping out of.
Death. We see
Sunshine,
death.
lollipops, rainbows.
It's all, the whole area is completely dark as the doors open up, but one by one the lights flick, lighting up this big living area. Have I got some detail? I feel like there should be some information here.
This map is massive.
It's a spaceship.
Yeah, it is. It's an enormous
But the-
spaceship.
The schematic itself is like as big as the spaceship.
Wait,
One
good
to one
space?
So what you find yourself in is a hallway with in each side doorways, and some of the doorways on your right hand side just have the names of crew members. It's like their living quarters, and they all look to be like bright red lights on each door, signifying there's like a red light and then a light that's off. The red light signifying that these doors are all look to be locked up.
What's this room with a star in it?
The room with the star, I think is a legend.
Quarters.
It's the end boss, I
Elizabeth
think.
Taylor's dressing room.
Yeah, that's the captain's quarters.
Oh.
So you
Where
see
the
a
Lone
name.
Star is.
You see a name above it that you don't recognize. Captain
And
something. It's just
Who is Captain Crunch?
yeah.
is
Maybe
his
he was
door
that
unlocked?
first guy we met with the
Oh,
headache.
yeah.
Yeah, there's the. I'd say that. Let's say that his is unlocked for some reason. There's no red light on his. It's actually it's the other way around. It's a nice green light with a grey light next to it. So it's signifying that this one is unlocked.
Sounds like an invitation.
Just like it's a public toilet.
It is now.
Inside. Inside is just it's quite a nice living quarters compared to some of the stuff you guys have found yourselves in over the many ships you've been in, and that's because you probably haven't spent much time inside of Captain's quarters. It smells old and stale in this room. Well, actually, you can't smell it because you're in a suit. If you could smell it, boy, would it smell old and stale. It's dusty. There are just random. It actually looks quite nicely put. There's like small hollow photos on shelving and stuff showing the captain with his family. Some drawers with just personal items within them. Really nice golden pen.
Excellent. Treasure number 1 into the pockets. There's no no, there wouldn't be any like captain documents or anything like that about what he's doing on his mission 72 years ago.
No, you'd probably be more likely to find some information on
bridge.
terminals or
On terminals.
Yeah, or
Right.
and, like
Actually, that's a good idea.
Locked away in like private messaging systems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's like a rattling in the opposing wall from where you've walked in. Just as something slams its way through the venting systems.
And I exit.
When they went into the captain's quarters, though, Davis kind of just snuck away quietly.
Okay.
Ducked around a corner, and
Shoot up some heroin.
oh, but also opened up this door and then kind of ducked away in the other direction.
Oh, so like you slam the door open button and again these lights just go ka-dunk, 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 ka-dunk in the hallway leading north. But you backtrack and head back.
Backtracked and went south and around a corner.
Okay. Do you want to explain what you're up to, or is that not for now?
Davis is just wanting to, because has set out the clear plan of we're going up to the armory. So maybe she didn't notice everyone into the captain's quarters and carried on in the way, and everyone should go that direction, and she's just going to wait for them to go past.
Okay, yeah. So as far as Cham and Rye are concerned, you head out of the captain's quarters, you see a door open on the left in front of you, the lights are all on, and you heard footsteps, but you weren't sure where they were going, and there's no sign of Davis.
I'm going to make an observation roll.
Okay, yeah, give us a roll. Actually, before you give us a roll, what are you looking for? Because it's you're in a metal ship.
I'm just looking to see if I'm just seeing if Cham notices where Davis has gone. Like if Cham notices the door that was opened, and can figure out like if it's a decoy or what.
Okay, give us a roll. And we're gonna do probably
Death saving throw.
we might do this against
Wits?
no, we'll do a mobility roll from Davis. So it's kind of Cham, you do an observation roll, and Davis give us a mobility roll.
Who?
Oh,
Damn it!
We're not okay. So this isn't a skill check. This is just like a versus. So we don't have to worry about your little face hugger roll there.
Yep.
But the mobility roll as a success is very important. So Davis has managed to do it all before you have a chance to understand what's happened. So Cham, you don't notice.
Right. Rye, where is Cham? I mean, I'm Cham. I'm going a bit space crazy. Where is Davis?
Davis said she was off to the armory, so checking the map. That's over to the left.
Okay, Cham, lead the way. Just go through that door,
All right.
wrench in hand.
Cham and Rye make
Oh,
I've
I've still got that flamethrower thing, right?
unless you put it down, yeah.
No.
Okay, both Cham and Rye head north towards the armory, and the doors shut behind you, leaving Davis in the hallways of the living area. What's Davis up to?
Davis, remembering the map, is going to head down towards this med bay.
Before you have a chance, while you're still in that hallway,
In that corridor, I mean.
yeah,
At this door,
Yeah,
checking back, making sure that the other one's shut and they're gone.
You go to put your hand on the button to open up this door, and you hear from the vents to your right, and you look, and bursting out of this vent at your side, it's not quite the same thing that you saw burst out of Cooper. It looks like it has grown in size now. What you see?
Puppy.
Huh?
A puppy.
A small puppy. It's
Small
so
puppy.
Yay! A space puppy. It's a spuppy.
You see this thing that has burst out and sort of lands down on all fours. Its head is quite bulbous. It always was quite bulbous to begin with, but it's much more bulbous, and it seems to be elongating and tapering to a point at the back of its head. And it is just snarling and dripping this saliva out of its mouth as it stares you down. And it's just got these incredibly sharp, jagged teeth, and it's got this tail that's starts flicking out from behind it. It's just this big sharp point on it, and before you even get to really take in all of what it is, it charges.
Die.
It charges towards you, and we'll take a 5-minute break.
Congratulations, Davis! You found it! Yay!
Yay!
I'm sure that was what you were after.
I'm sure. I thought it wouldn't come back to bother us. It just seemed like a throwaway section earlier in the show.
That was the game mother deciding, would it be funnier to have it jump out on Cham and Rye or on Davis by herself?
Yeah.
Davis is suddenly so sober right now.
That's the cool thing about. I suppose that you could do this in D&D and stuff as well. But the thing I like about this is it just gives you a bunch of events and things that can happen at some point, and it's just up to you to decide when is a good time to do it and who is a good thing to do it for. So that's
2.
Yeah, 4. Yeah. And like I've mentioned before, if for any reason your characters die, it's not over. You get to inhabit a different character. So feel free to grab yourself a drink or some refreshments or ice cream or whatever you need to cool yourself down in your 21-degree room.
Hit the vending machine.
Yeah.
Try the gruel. It's possible.
Actually, could I
Eventually.
head off for a quick little glass of water?
That's what this break's for. Please go
Thank
right
you.
ahead.
This break is specifically for Jolene to get water.
Yeah. Yeah. How much of this map have you guys even gone over and looked into yet?
I mean, I looked for the med lab and stairs leading to it, but
Oh yeah.
I've looked it up and down quite a lot, and it's just so much information that I've taken none of it in.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
as we're moving to new areas, I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, that's where the bridge is, right?
yeah.
Oh.
But I think that's
in Jam Zone.
I think that's kind of fair. I don't think Cham would have been on a ship this big, and this probably is quite a new experience in every way for him as well. So that's good. So it kind of works.
Well, even if he had, he wouldn't know.
Yeah. That is fair. So I'm just having a quick look. How are you finding this, Reece?
It's so good.
Yeah.
I like the way it's stressful and atmospheric, but we've also got our comical bunch just slapping their way through it.
We've got the Three Stooges.
Doom, 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 doom.
Well, the Two Stooges and their unwitting companion.
Their train spotting friend.
Yeah.
Like, I love Wilson. Davis hates Wilson.
Yeah, Miller can't stand Wilson, which is awesome.
I'm sorry, Wilson.
Oh, it's all good.
I think I've made it very clear how I feel about Wilson.
Yeah. Don't worry,
Spoiler, Davis might not be throwing you out of an airlock soon.
Maybe.
Clayton likes Wilson.
Hey.
Yeah.
I also had to get my most space-like.
Ooh.
That's
Made
cool.
of pure mercury.
The one with alien in it.
Nothing says space and future like chrome.
Yeah.
That's true.
Nothing says dying like drinking from mercury.
By their powers combined.
If you're gonna eat me, alien, I ain't gonna taste nice.
Yeah.
I'll give you tooth decay.
I'm curious as to what Wilson's plans aboard the Cronus are, to be honest.
What's his Act 2 agenda?
I don't know if we
Yeah.
have to ask that one.
What's his secret agenda?
It's definitely involved with numbers, and the higher the better. Yeah, so far Wilson's still got heaps of confidence in the company. Like he's already picturing himself after this little adventure's finished in his giant office, mahogany oak desk, which is two woods that shouldn't be together, but they are in his desk because he can afford it. It's going to be glorious. So he's almost not paying attention to what's going on around him, and it's going to be so good. He just needs to get back
With
there.
many leather-bound books.
Yeah.
I'm
Do we
kind of
still-
Knowledge wrapped in cow.
Yeah, do we still have cow?
Space cow.
We don't, us lowly grunts, but like the corpse have cow.
That's why Rye was like, oh my gosh, my bag is leather. This is gonna be worth a mint. Just the bag.
Toads.
So I'm just having a quick look at some information, so I have it all as needed. So feel free just to talk amongst yourselves for a little bit.
How's he got his air supply going? I'm down to 2.
I mean, you can have some of Davis's. I don't think she's gonna need it.
You might use it all very rapidly.
Willis
yeah, I'm
needs
on
a bit of
3.
fresh air. You could just step outside the spaceship for a while. We'll watch it inside for you.
He'd probably go along with that.
I didn't spend experience points last time.
Oh,
Neither.
Oh,
Why
can you
didn't I
spend
do
it like
that?
mid-game?
I'll allow it.
How
I
do you spend
guess.
experience again?
You spend 5 points on something that you've succeeded on in the
No,
session.
but I just forgot to at the end of the last one.
Did you succeed on anything? I can't remember.
Ouch.
That's a mother burn.
Other than
Oh, that's
stressing
right.
out.
I didn't succeed on. That's right. That's
feel
why I
like-
didn't do it.
I
It was
feel
a
like that
word
was
from your
why.
mother.
No, I didn't succeed on anything last time. So
Same for
that's
Wilson.
why.
I've got XP but no success.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think I've got all the information I need. Do we want to just jump straight back into it?
Yeah.
Let the horror commence.
All right.
Bye, Davis.
On my way out of this.
What I'm going to do is, because there's only 2 people really involved in this right now, I'm just going to shuffle the initiative cards. I'm going to
2 people.
deal 1 to Davis, and I'm going to deal 1 to myself.
Well, it's going to be decided by what number I turn over.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've already forgot. I need to bring up this is part of that whole learning initiative thing. I've brought that. Here we go. Drawing the initiative. Also changing. Number 1 act first. Number 2 act second. So
So the
what?
comms. The comms were turned off, weren't they? Like, Davis muted herself when she was saying, "You son of a."
Yeah.
Yeah, so she would have to like flick it back on.
Yeah.
But you know, in ships, people can hear you scream, just not in space.
I think this system has really worked out that whole, like, how to deal with the players that split the party. You just kill them.
Just,
eat them.
just get rid of them. All right, I'm just removing everyone from the turn.
You've got lots of air for your screaming, Davis, so that
Yeah, I
should
know.
help.
I'm just going
Actually-
to breathe a bunch before I die, just to rub it in Wilson's face.
Actually, there's a few things we need to do first of all, because at the sight of this creature bursting out, I think we're going to need a panic roll.
I mean, that seems fair.
From Davis. Just at the
And
sight
I
of
know
it.
we can do that, don't we? We just click on stress, don't we? There we go.
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, well. There goes my screwdriver.
Whether by stress, confusion, or the realization that you're all going to die anyway, you drop a weapon or other important item. The GM decides which one.
The GM.
What have you got on you? What have you been carrying through these?
She had the screwdriver out ready to shank anything.
But you don't have any other weaponry?
I gave the shotgun back to Captain.
Marine?
To Miller?
Yeah, to Miller. Just before I went into the airlock, I'm like,
yeah,
"Ugh,"
that's
and
right.
then like shut the door on the airlock.
You drop the screwdriver.
Yeah.
You look.
Just,
and just
hammering on the door, like.
It's like the bursting of it out of the vents. You just shudder and drop the screwdriver at your feet. So we're gonna go
Hands
into
down at the side, like stepping back. Wait, what the crap?
Yeah, I need to catch up here. There's a few things I need to do. So just so we have an idea of where things are, let me just.
Davis is a
Right,
pilot,
did you just
right?
hear a screwdriver drop?
Don't think about screwdrivers. What? Look for expensive things. Taps, doorknobs, picture fix.
Davis, what was your initiative? What did you get?
It's best if it's low, isn't it?
It's very good if it's low. I
So
shuffled the cards first, by the way.
So my 10 is probably really unfortunate right now.
Your 10 is unfortunate. However, I'm not sure if it would have mattered with the 1 that this creature grabbed. Actually, I think I brought
The
up
universe has decided this outcome.
well, it hasn't yet. It very much could have, but it hasn't yet.
Oh, look at that little creature icon.
Yeah, let's just let's
cutie.
zoom in.
Can I not? Oh no.
So many legs.
Yeah. All right. Well, the creature goes first. What I get to do is I get to roll their attacks, or their attack, and it just picks from one of the many it has built into its system.
It kind of looks like it's busy doing the dance out of Thriller, though. Maybe that's one of the movements.
It has rolled success at a leaping attack. It jumps, it rushes across the floor and just leaps up at Davis. If it is successful, which it is, the victim is thrown to the ground and must make an immediate panic roll.
Yep, that seems fair.
And then it forms an extra attack.
Yeah.
Ah.
It is also
Oh, Davis.
in doing so, it also manages to do 1 point of damage. 1 point of damage to you. So the way that damage works is, I don't think we've actually dealt with this yet. So I think it has to do more than your armor to actually do... Oh no, you've got to roll your armor. So you should be able to click on your armor, and you want to get some successes with that.
I don't actually have armor written down, but I had one of those exosuits. What was their rating?
I thought I'd put that. I thought I'd attached it to your character.
I think that is our armor. Is our spacesuits.
Light suit?
Oh yeah,
Is
but
our
I don't
armor.
have a spacesuit in my items.
Oh.
Or armor, especially.
1 second.
I would love to have armor right now.
Oh, I thought I added that on. Let's have a quick look. Is someone else with armor? Can you? Oh, here we go. It was the Mark 50 compression suit, I believe.
Yes.
Which has an armor rating of 2 and an air supply of 5. So if you put the armor, put that into your character sheet with a rating of 2 and then click the button, it'll roll 2 dice.
Hopefully this works.
And
Hey.
all right, so no successes. It manages to, just with its sharp sort of claws on its hands as part of its leaping attack, it comes down on you and pierces into your suit and cuts you just like into your shoulder.
Yeah. Davis just screams, but of course the comm is off.
The air is like whistling out of your suit at the moment as well. So you're frozen. So you're frozen by fear for 1 round, which means you lose your next slow action. Okay, because there are slow and fast actions.
Surely nothing will happen in that time.
Well, part of this leaping attack is it also gets to perform an extra attack with 10 dice. Damage of 2 does not count as an action. So I'm just going to roll 10 dice for this creature.
Play dead, Davis.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll work.
Maybe-
Become real convincing.
Maybe it'll go away.
What's an easy way to roll 10d6? I'm just thinking I'm just
So
going
who would bet that Davis was going to be the first to die? Because like collect on that now, I think.
All right, 10d6.
Well, you lose your next slow action, but that's not to say you can't have a quick action to reinstate your comms.
There is a success
So
which
that we get to play along.
yeah, you it is a success.
Yep.
Doing 2 further damage as it just bites down into any sort of soft area of your suit.
Do I roll armor on that as well?
Yes, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Oh, you've got 1 success there. So
Yeah, it's a shame I only had 2
one
health
success.
though.
Okay, so you've only got 2. Okay, all right. That means you are put into what is called a broken state. It's not dead. In a broken state, you can really only do 2 things. You can go, and you can crawl, and that's about it as someone in a broken state. So.
Why not both?
So if you drop to 0 health, you are broken, in effect taken out of the action. Immediately roll for a critical injury. So we're going to need you to roll from the critical injury table, which I believe is 1d66 at the top.
Oh, actually, this is the button
At
for
the
that.
top right sheet.
Oh, the fabled 66.
25.
Okay, let's
25.
That's
Well,
pretty
that's
good.
what the alien got too.
good. Critical.
They cancel out.
Yeah.
The alien actually takes the damage.
So what did you roll? You rolled a 25. Okay, so what's happened is leapt on top of you. Its claw punches through your suit and air is pouring out of that. Your air supply dwindling down in seconds, scratching into your shoulder. While it's snarling down at you, you can see its tail appear up behind it, and you're just frozen in fear, wondering what's going to happen. And it just disappears out of sight, and you just feel this impalement into your thigh. Just an absolute burning sensation through your thigh. You are left in a broken state, with for the. Can you give me 2d6, please?
I can.
This is how many.
I don't want to.
This is how many days you're going to be without action for your thigh, basically.
Oh, sweet. So we're good for 3 days.
So for the next 3 days, you're not going to be able to run. It becomes a slow action, so it's the equivalent of walking everywhere. But for now, you are in a broken state. You can't perform. You're not dead. You can crawl and mumble through the pain.
That's what her husband says.
You can't perform any other actions, and you can't roll for any skills. You can't go below 0 health, but each further attack that causes damage will give you another critical injury. And unfortunately, you are, because of your stress, you're frozen, you're out around. It is going to attack again.
Vicious.
This is just a baby one too.
It is. This is just a baby one. It attacks again. It goes to bite down onto your throat, but just bites into the bottom of your helmet. You are like freaking out as this thing is like trying to get into your throat, and your helmet is getting in its way. It is roll for the attack. Yeah, if the attack causes damage, it doesn't. Blah blah blah. Okay.
No success.
Triggering an immediate. Well, yeah, if only if it causes damage. Okay, so it is your turn, Davis. There's not much. All you've got here is slow actions. So if you need to understand what kind of slow actions, while this thing is on top of you, with its tail deep in your thigh.
So I've got my slow action back.
Yeah.
Can I mean, pick up item is a fast action. Can Davis like just kind of pad out with her hands and stumble upon that screwdriver?
You cannot perform any other actions other than crawl.
Oh, of course, because I'm broken here.
And mumble. You're in a broken state.
In that case, she's not even going to crawl. She's just kind of pinned under the weight of this thing with its teeth, and this is so beyond anything that she's ever experienced. So she's actually just going to sit there and kind of like cough up blood, and just kind of like not. Yeah, this is not what she expected to happen.
For everybody else, Cham, Rye, you've both heard like this thing screaming out, like this monstrous scream coming from like where you came from, basically, and you've heard like the thudding of both this of like a vent bursting, this cry of this monstrous roar, and like this thud of something else coming from the south. Yeah. And I think over the radio you hear Miller's voice come in. I thought you guys were going to meet us up on A. Where are you guys? And Davis, you can hear that in your helmet. Cham and Rye, you hear that as well.
I'll be like, oh my god, I think that creature's on level B. And
where are you?
We're on level B.
While she's talking and continues,
we're gonna go check on Davis.
I just shove past her and lead the charge and say, "You stay here."
Yeah, I think it's clear that during that time you guys have headed further up north, and there's like all the doors you're opening, the lights are all turning on, and that's strange because if Davis had come that way, the lights should have already been on. And then you hear the stuff occurring. Miller sort of looks to Wilson and says, "They're down on B." It sounds like something's going on down on B.
Oh, that's weird.
Okay, and she points to the Marine and says, "Can you come with me?" And she just heads out, slams her hand on the elevator, and you can hear everyone on A and B hears that elevator rattle back into use as it heads back up to deck A. Cham and Rye, So Cham, you're charging down.
Yep.
All right. Let me give you initiative.
Please be less than 1.
Yeah.
Itty bitty initiative.
He says 0.5. Oh, it's a 0.
Hey!
Oh,
Ooh, double zeros. We win.
So you should have like a little initiative card.
Yeah, I got it.
Is there one for me?
There is now.
I think-
What did you get, Brad?
Hang on. My computer won't show me.
Alright.
I have a 7.
7. Okay. And Rye?
Oh, I've opened the wrong one.
Okay.
Where is it? Is
You
that
should
it?
have 2 cards just above your name at the bottom of roll 20.
Yes. Oh, hang on.
And it's the red. Is it the red one? No, it's the other one.
3.
Oh, that's a good one. It's not better than 1, unfortunately. We want to sort them the other way. Here we go. So you guys run through into the room and see Davis on the ground with this grotesque sort of grey this armed and legged creature holding him down. And it's got this sharp tail that sort of arcs into the air and is penetrating down into his suit to where his thigh would be. And it is this creature's turn.
Of course it is.
As it turns to see you both into the room, and it's just going to attack.
Yeah, as I see it, I just yell, "What the shit?"
Yeah, actually, I'll get a panic roll from both Cham and Rye, please.
Oh, I shouldn't have said anything.
I walk into the room very calmly and say,
As well
let's consider this predicament.
as well as an air supply roll,
This
please.
is interesting.
Let's roll card, tetanus shot.
So I just click the stress level.
Oh,
Okay, you're doing all right.
Wow.
I start twitching nervously, and my stress goes up, and so does everyone else's.
And we're rolling air supply as well, is it?
and
Oh,
air supply,
no.
please, for Cham and
How's my
Rye.
air
Oh, no.
supply? Uh-oh.
No, that's
Stress.
good. No successes is a good thing on this one. Cham, can we get an air supply?
Air supply.
Quick,
Be patient.
someone remember the air supply song.
Okay, both of you guys are fine in regards
I'm
to.
all out of love. I'm so lost without you.
He sings twitchily, sending the stress levels of Rye through the roof. Rye and Cham, please increase your stress by 1. Thanks to Cham.
I'm packing 6 stress now.
Okay, nice.
5.
This creature atop Davis is going to attack once more. It has not succeeded. It withdraws its tail out of Davis's thigh, and while distracted, tries to penetrate again somewhere into Davis's body, but just hits the metal at his side. Wilson, what are you up to now that Miller is on her way out of here with the Marine?
Wilson makes his way over to Clayton, and it's like, you know, these people have things they need to deal with, and you know how it is. But amendments and subsections, do you want to have a chat about those in the corporate room, perhaps? Or, you know, with the...
Have I told you about Order 966?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I get an air supply roll from... we'll get one from both Miller and Wilson again.
Oh, success.
That is a reduction of 1 for Wilson. And it's...
It's the corporate language just soaking in more oxygen than is necessary.
What have we got here? And Miller is fine. I think what you've found is Johns, who is the sort of second in control of here, is a little panicked, and he's with the Marine out of the room now. He's just kind of silently standing next to you and Clayton. There's something very weak about this man. He seems to just be looking for anyone to be taking control, and he sees how calm you and Clayton are about this situation, and I think he's just willing to, if he could, just hand over responsibility of the Cronus to you, Wilson. That's where he's kind of thinking. He's not feeling good. The medic on board as well, he's worried because B is where his med lab is, and he looks over to Clayton and says that is where the specimens are, down on B.
Ooh. This sounds a bit uphill, guys. Like, what are we doing here? You know, with the things that you have to work out on the spaceship.
Yep.
Oh, I hope you guys figure it out. It's gonna be tough. Oh,
He's such a Kiwi bloke all of a sudden. Oh,
Wilson's like,
this is-
I believe in you.
it's pretty stink, but like you fellas can figure it out probably or something.
yeah. You're gonna hire someone to do it? Nah, do it yourself.
Get a subby.
All right, well, we're going to go back down to where the combat is. And
It's just
yeah, it is Rye's turn. Davis is not moving much. He doesn't seem to be dead, but he's not moving much. He seems to be frozen in fear underneath this creature. And this creature is now like looking between you and these and Davis in these twitchy movements. As drool is now like dropping down onto Davis's helmet.
oh my gosh.
So as a
Like-
so you get in combat, you get a slow action and you get a fast action. So let's I think I've made available in your journal kind of actions. Actions and initiatives. So slow actions are things like close combat attack, shooting at firearms. That's all that kind of stuff that requires like aiming and firing or using a weapon. Fast actions are things like draw. So you might draw your weapon, which is a fast action. Slow action would be to shoot it. But have a look over those kind of lists of actions and you'll get an idea. Or just tell me what you want to do and I'll tell you whether it's a fast or a slow.
How big is the creature? Is it
The
like-
creature from end to end looks to be like 1.5 meters tall.
Okay, so it's like a person.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay. Step in front of Cham so that he gets to keep his eyebrows, and I draw the flamethrower and shoot at the creature, but try to not,
Okay.
like slightly up so it's not like across the ground and everybody fries. Just trying to
Yeah, aim for the
maybe
head.
like the
Yeah. Okay.
the head will be on Davis, like
The head is not
You
too
do?
far. Like, is it on all fours above above Davis? So the distance between Davis and this creature may only be like 20 centimeters.
yeah. So I'm going to try and like scorch it like across the shoulders and back.
Yeah, by all
If
means.
it doesn't damage it, then it'll at least like give it something to think about. Maybe it'll run away.
Yeah, so this will use both the fast and slow action. One to get the flamethrower into position is the fast action, and then the slow action to sort of fire this thing. So you should be able to click your weapon.
Weapon. I did see that guy there. The Baker Flake. There it is. And so just click on the name of it like we do with the stress.
Yeah, I believe so. And then it'll come up if there's any
Nope.
modifiers you can just roll through. Is that working?
Hang on. There's something that looks like a die next to the name.
Oh, yeah,
Is that
yeah.
it?
Click.
Ah, there it is. Okay, and I don't get anything to add, do I?
I was thinking about
Oh.
whether I give you a negative modifier because, how hard it would be to
Or you
aim
give
it
me a
in
positive. Positivity.
What,
Positivity.
Or you could use your story point to get an instant success.
Oh my gosh. Do I have a story point?
I think. Did you get one at the end of Act 1? I was handing out some story points to people who.
Yeah, I got one.
Where's my story point?
Did I give you one?
Where do you find them?
Under experience, maybe?
Experience. Where you at? Where you at? I need a story point.
I can't remember if I gave you one or not.
I do. I've got a story point.
Okay. So if you want, you can just use your story point to instant success any roll, but then you've used it. It's gone.
I think this is a good story point to point at
Okay.
the alien. Okay.
All right.
I
What's
spend my point.
Great. What's your
What's your point?
What's your point? What am I trying to say? What's the damage of that?
Oh. Damage of the thing is the number up in the top right, is it?
Yeah.
It's got a 2. Yes, it's got
Oh, double check. I think it should be something
weapons
like 2.
damage 2.
Okay, cool. Normally, the
Do I click on that?
you don't need to click on it because you're
Okay.
using your story point to. So just detail what you do from your point of view.
Yeah, she's like, oh my god, steps in front of Cham, pulls out the flamethrower, sees this huge thing, and it's just like, ah!
It's like this.
just flame its back. Like, I'm assuming it's like not a huge cloud of flame. It's just kind of a.
Yeah.
Science has
A moat.
moved far enough that it's quite precise, right?
I mean, it's flame. It's fire. It like shoots out in this straight arc and then just it just explodes into this big ball of fire that you've purposefully aimed up, right? And it just wraps around this creature. And Davis, you're just feeling there's a lot of heat that you can mumble and crawl your way through. That again, only 2 actions you're allowed.
Bubble.
Against anything else, it would have had an armor rating of 4, but against fire, it only has an armor rating of 2. So it doesn't succeed on its armor rating, and you do 2 damage to this creature as it hisses and like starts to move away from Davis and like lining you up in the corridor.
Why are you walking towards me? I have the fire. Walk away from me. Walk away. Walk away.
Cham.
Yeah, Cham. Cham's going to do what Cham does. He's just going to. He's had Rye sort of step in front of him, so he's going to reciprocate and step in front of her, and then just charge at it with this huge double-handed wrench that he's holding already, and without really thinking about the ramifications of it, he's just going to smack it with a wrench.
Right, so you're closing in on that distance and getting right in front of this. The burst of flame dissipates and Cham just like pushes past Rye with this massive wrench in his hand. Yeah. So give us a roll to hit.
So I just hit the wrench.
Yeah, if you've got that set up, there
There's
should
a
be like a
makeshift
little,
weapon.
there should be like a dice button if you've set that up in your.
Yeah, I don't know if I put the right stats in or anything. But
It was 2 and 2, so even if you got them around the wrong way, it should
3
be fine.
successes
Ah.
and a panic.
Oh. Wait, how much does the panic negate?
The panic turns
All
it
of it.
into a fail.
Instantly.
Yeah. Well, let's have a quick look. I do want to double check that because I would hate to, but I believe that is a fail.
Yeah, but Cham, no matter what happens, wants to yell, "Get away from her, you bitch!"
Story point. Get a story point.
Close combat. All right. Resolution. If it's does it actually doesn't say. Maybe the
We live?
Maybe I succeed, but I also panic.
I'm just trying to. It's just as if your close combat roll is successful, your attack hits and you inflict damage equal to the weapon's damage rating. But it doesn't say anything about rolling the face hugger.
That might be like the generic roll section, right? Because that mechanic seems to be through combat in other systems too, maybe?
Overarching kind of.
I assume the same, but I thought it might say. I would hate to maybe it's just skill rolls that do that. Let's have a quick check. Close combat skill. This is why the rulebook, having it handy, is so good. I'm assuming it is a fail, but I was just surprised that there's no push. That's all, because normally. Oh no, actually, if you fail that, you normally.
Those panic dice, so 3 hot cross buns and 1 face hugger, like it did all the hard lifting. Or heavy lifting.
yeah. It just says like failure means you stumble and miss.
No.
But man, now I don't know
if that is a failure.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have a look at panic then.
Please do. We need this.
As long as you keep your stress, you roll 1 or more facehuggers on your stress dice in a skill roll. That's the only time you panic. And this isn't a skill roll.
it is. Close combat is a skill.
Oh, you've used the... Let's have a look at the...
True.
Sorry about this.
Like, it's under the skills.
I'm just looking at the map. Is that little dotted line between the alien and us a door,
No.
or is it like a vent or something? Just a doorway?
It's an underground vent.
Oh, excellent. They can come up through the floor.
yeah. Okay. I'm still having a look. But you... Because you rolled... Oh, man, now I'm really confused. Because you rolled just by clicking your wrench, right? You didn't...
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would have probably been your strength plus close combat dice. Is that about right? 7 die?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Strength plus close combat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is classified. Okay. In that case, you do need to... you can't push the skill roll. Instead, roll for panic. All right. It is as simple as that. I need you to roll from the panic table.
But it did it succeeded though?
No. Any facehugger is
Damn
an
it.
instant fail.
Can you spend a story point after a roll?
Are you sure?
You can spend a story point even after a roll.
Then I spend my story point to smack this thing with a wrench
Okay.
and say, "Get away from her, you bitch," and try and get in between it and Davis.
Oh my gosh. Open it up like a watermelon.
Speaking of opening it up like a watermelon, do you want to explain what it looks like when this wrench comes down and kills this thing?
Ooh. It's actually not coming down. It's an upswing.
Yeah.
My intent is to get its face away from Davis's face. So it's just this big two-handed, like almost like a golf swing. Like I'm swinging from behind myself and bringing it up. And yeah, it hits under its question mark jaw and smashes like the front of its teeth and whips its head back.
Nice. And it like
And the tail just flaps around wildly, like all on its own.
Yeah, great. And it just flicks around wildly for a while before eventually just sort of twitching, and until it ends up not moving at all. And at that same point, you hear just like this rattling of the elevator, and shoot, the doors open up, almost keeping you on edge with these extra sounds going on. And standing in that elevator is Miller with pistol in hand, actually shotgun. She had the shotgun from Davis, as well as the Colonial Marine with a shotgun. And they just both come running down towards you, Rye.
Do I still need to roll that panic die?
No, because the story point makes it null and void. You're fine.
Okay, cool.
I do want to just go back to Davis, who is left broken on the ground at this point.
Kids don't do drugs.
Yeah. So being broken
don't do them in space.
being broken isn't fatal in itself. Only critical injuries can actually kill you. There are some items on that critical injuries table that you'll just die straight away. Yeah. So, good roll.
Yay, just my leg.
Yeah. There are 2 ways to get back up after being broken, assuming you're not dead. First aid, someone can help you back onto your feet by administering first aid to you using the medical aid skill.
Or you just walk it off.
Or if you're broken and no one is around to help you, you automatically recover 1 point of health after 1 turn, which is 5 to 10 minutes. And then you can get up on your own.
That's pretty decent.
Yeah. So if this, whatever happens and you're rolling around in a broken state, if something startles it and runs off and leaves you there, you're okay. As long as nothing else attacks you. Because any attack against you when you're in a broken state is an instant critical table roll. If someone is going to use first aid, you get it back up immediately, regaining health equal to the number of hot cross buns in the skill roll. And administering first aid to someone who isn't broken has no effect. So you can't get health back through first
Infinite
aid.
Health loop.
Okay, what's Cham and Rye doing now that this thing is dead on the ground?
Breathing heavily.
Cham's just breathing. Yeah. I was going to say Cham's just breathing heavily.
Well, I'm glad you said that. Give me an air supply roll, please, you two.
That was a trap.
No.
Just muttering over and over, "What the shit? What the shit? What the shit? What the shit? Lady with the big hat, where are you now?"
Come on, air.
No successes.
Cool.
Uh-oh.
1 success. For Rye, so just reduce your air supply down by 1.
Whew. Oh my gosh. Yep. Nope. Yep. Nope.
Miller's just running in. What the fuck happened?
That happened.
That thing happened.
Right there. I think at this point, also, Rye suddenly is like, "Oh my god, Davis!" And is the alien still flaming? Do we have to go around the other way?
It's not flaming. It's dead on the ground. It's
just crispy.
It's just crispy.
Okay. So, run over to this little cute med kit over here and
yeah. There's like a med system on the wall.
There's
there.
also a med lab. Someone help me get her into the med lab.
Pretty good place to go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cham just scoops Davis up and say, and like while he's carrying her, like mutters like, "Oh, you let me carry you now."
Rye, you head over towards the med lab door, hit the button, the doors open, and inside you see these two.
Another alien.
That's what I was expecting.
There's these 2 older generation med pods. Okay, one of them has a plexiglass tube that's splintered and shattered, as if something has like broken out of it. So all of the glass is scattered around on the ground. The other one is sealed and lit from within. And as you step into the room, you can see that the inner surface of that one that's sealed is just covered in thick, dried blood.
And I close the door and go back into the hallway and say, "Not that way. We're using this kit out in the hall."
As you're like turning to leave, you notice just over on one of the walls there's 2 specimen jars, and inside those specimen jars are 2 of the small creatures that had burst out of Cooper's head, just in these small specimen jars. So
Are they
like,
alive?
no, they're dead. But like, you start wondering, the people of the Cronus
Knew
have
about this.
kept these things, and you get out and you just leave
Oh.
that midland.
I was gonna say, how big is the jar?
They're probably like 10
Count
to
the blood
15
bursters in the jar.
10 to 15, like maybe 20 centimeter tall specimen jars.
Like this big? Like a large peanut butter jar?
Like a very large,
Oh,
I don't know,
A 4 kilo peanut butter jar.
okay, no.
like about
I was gonna say-
the size of this book, you know?
About the
Like
size of... Okay, it's a bit big to stick in my satchel. All right,
Bootlegger's
no.
homemade gin jar.
yeah.
My jug. It's
Don't
a
drink
jug
this either,
size.
though.
Okay, no, head back out into the hall and open up this med kit. Try and do something helpful.
Just whenever, just a,
Do a little med roll.
okay. So you can go out. You can do a first aid roll.
Medical.
I'll help her by yelling, "Hit the purple button!"
Medical aid, yeah, and you can definitely help. So which can add an extra dice at the end of the roll if you like.
Narratively, I don't know how Cham would help, so I don't
Oh,
think so.
okay, maybe not then. Maybe not. Maybe
Oh,
not.
the
extra.
purple
Apart from like
organ.
holding her up. I'm holding Davis up, so
Oh,
like,
okay, cool.
so Rye can operate.
Yeah.
So I can
yeah.
add a little dice in the.
Just
add
yes,
dice
in the
box.
bonus, add 1, please. The Marine Reed, she's just like militarily going from door to door, like opening up the doors and stepping in with the shotgun and looking around.
Can you leave those closed whilst we're working, please? We don't need any surprises whilst we're doing the.
She nods and she says, "Just keeping you all safe." And
Uh-oh.
she's just
Good roll, Rye. Good roll.
oh, I mean it's
I was
an
like, oh, what's the bottom one? It's like, oh no.
it's an okay roll. For every success, you get 1 health point back, Davis.
That's half my life.
Okay, great. That's true. That is fair. So do you want to detail sort of like Davis hasn't been unconscious. She's just been so severely injured. So maybe you've been focusing on stemming the bleeding on
Yep.
the thigh.
Yep, patching up the thigh. Also, maybe putting, I guess, some tape over it because it's like trying to patch up the suit around
I think
patching up the thigh.
I think realistically, if you're going to be helping Davis's
Or-
thigh, she needs to
Actually-
get out of the suit. It's got too many
Yeah.
puncture wounds in it. At this
Actually,
point
no.
anyway.
Yeah, the tape could also be kind of like semi-tourniquet kind of.
Mm.
Yep. So, yep, space meds into the leg. What else is broken? There's a
there's-
slash on her shoulder. Yep.
Yeah. Davis, now that you've got like this helmet off, you're sort of tasting the stale air, and this is going to definitely affect your strength just with the lack of oxygen that you're getting with every breath.
They've got the liquid stitches. It's like
Super glue.
space filler
Yeah.
going into the caps.
PVA.
Yeah.
Watch.
So any of your stamina rolls are going to be -2 until the air gets fixed on this ship.
Any painkillers?
Well, Davis probably is still pretty intent on that med lab, I think.
Davis is getting a little more cohesion. The blood is stemming. The thing is off. Still quite frantic and panicked, but now has the sense to like grab Cham's arm, and is just kind of like holding on and trying to just focus and anchor herself to this point, which is something familiar, and not trying to kill her right now.
You try to put a little bit of your weight onto that leg, and you're like, oh, okay. That's going to take about 3 days to walk off, I think.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
You mean that? And I just point at its corpse.
Yes, get that.
Reed just says, "Yeah, they've got a tendency to do that."
You know about these things? How many of
Talk.
them are there?
Talk now. Talk fast.
Well, I thought we had gotten rid of all of them, but because of Cooper not taking his inoculation, I guess this is what happens if you don't take your inoculations.
Have you all got this thing in you?
Well, we've all taken the doctor's cure, so God, I hope not.
You hope not. So reassuring in the depths of space.
Well, you don't see my head exploding, do you?
Oh,
So it's pretty good.
Cham, hear this. Hear this person.
Cham just like menacingly taps the giant wrench and go, "Your head not exploding yet."
Reed just
Okay,
Reed looks over at Cham and says, "I am here to help. Okay, I want to do my best to keep all of you safe because look, I'm going to be relying on you as much as you're going to need me here as well. Okay, I've got military precision skills, and I'm here to help."
Yeah, you also show up late.
You guys were meant to come back to deck A. You shouldn't be down here. There are a lot of bad things down on B.
Oh my gosh.
Has anyone got any painkillers? I'm hurt.
Here.
It still hurts a lot.
We're gonna go back up to Wilson and Clayton, and Wilson Clayton is giving you like a heavy lowdown on like why she wasn't in a hurry to get down to B and why she is not really keen to even get the medic down there, and the medic is just sort of sitting back because he knows he's not really allowed to go anywhere without the corporates say so, and she details like what happened to Cooper with the head exploding. It's happened to other people. Okay, it's happened to multiple people. Once we figured out what was causing it, the medic here and points to the poor guy in the doctor's jacket. He managed to create like a cure, right? And so we've all taken it, and we're all fine. The reason Cooper wasn't fine is, as you saw, he didn't take it. So what I suggest is if it gets to a point where you are outside of that suit and you see anything that you shouldn't see, we need to get you down and get you inoculated as fast as possible. I don't know how many how many shots we've got left, and the medics is like, it's been 70 years. I don't remember how many are down there. But we get you one the moment you're out of that suit. Okay, Wilson?
Ooh, there's a lot of details in there, Clayton. Like, have you got that little quick version, that little exec summary for me?
Quick version is, if you're out of the suit, we get you inoculated. Okay?
Okay.
Or what happened to Cooper with the head, that will happen to you.
Right.
And it's not always the head.
Wilson's going to self-increase his stress level to 4. He's just realized that this is going to be a lot of work. Like, he is focusing on the high numbers and the corporateness, but he's like, that the higher number means more work. And he's just like,
But if you can...
lady yapping in the... he's not enjoying it.
Wilson, if we don't get everybody on board with us, they're going to turn on us.
Yeah. Let's not do that. Let's do the good one. We do what John says. We get the air filters fixed first, because then I'm fond of breathing. Bet you are too, with the old talkity talk, trying to talk to me when I'm concentrating. Oh, engines. The zoomy bit. Gotta fix them. And that other one. You were listening to the third point, so let's do that too. And then we just go home. Like, we're gonna have to stay here longer. So,
All right. So
I'm on board with myself. Are you on board?
Yeah. Look, I want us to get through this. We get them to do all the heavy lifting, and we go back to Wayland Yutani with the specimens. We get a fat paycheck, and then on to the next one.
Let's do that. How do we make that go faster so I'm there?
Well, you
sooner?
might have to get your hands dirty then, Wilson.
Clayton, you son
They
of-
both just start laughing at the ludicrous idea of them actually doing hard work. And it cuts to like a dark hallway somewhere aboard the Cronus. And there's just like a flickering of light, and we see like a woman like seated and slumped up against the wall, looking like she's in a dying or dead state, and her hand just sort of twitches a little bit, and she raises her hand shakily up to the back of her head. Ah, my head. And that's where we're gonna end for the night.
Who's this woman?
Oh,
Who is this woman?
Who is this woman?
Find out on the next episode
Find
of
out.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Where is she?
Thanks, team. I had one note here that was like, for tonight's session, I needed to like mention like stealth mode, but no one's ever spoken about wanting to go into stealth mode. There's a whole rule set for stealth mode that I think we'll get into at some point, but it's not tonight.
I
Yeah,
think we've
so far we
passed
just
stealth.
scream. We just scream and fire and hit.
Well, you don't have to be. I feel like next session might be a lot of stealth mode now that you know that there's something on board. So maybe next session it's going to be all stealth mode. I don't know. Or you can look, or make as much noise as you want. Like, or you can do that as well. I think.
Tune in next time when we're all silently crying inside lockers as a giant alien stalks the ship.
Well, it's gonna be interesting because Wilson hasn't really spoken to you guys about the fact that there needs to be like this ship is it. This is our way home, and it needs to be repaired. So it could be we need to get Wilson detailing stuff. I think to everyone at some point, but
Davis has tasted the air, and as has Cham,
yeah.
and they both might be susceptible to what.
Well, they did specify specifically if you had seen any sort of like, was it spores?
Spores.
Yeah.
So you might be okay. You might not. They might be very small spores. Who knows?
Why is there a random lady on our ship?
yeah. XP.
Hooray!
Did you participate?
yes.
I did.
Then you get one point of XP. Just bring it
Did you
up.
get mauled by a xenomorph?
That puts me up to 10, so I can't get any more.
Okay, well,
Oh no!
did you succeeded
Mm.
in?
No, I didn't, because it was cancelled out by my stress. By my
No.
panic.
No.
Then you spent it, didn't you?
But you spent the story point to succeed in close combat. So by all means, you can spend 5 XP on bumping up your close combat skill if you want. Did you do any other?
Oh, for sheezy.
Yeah.
No, I didn't
so-
succeed at any other roles.
Okay, which means if you spend 5 points, that you can get some more XP for the rest of the questions that we've got. Did you risk or sacrifice something to further your personal agenda? Now, only you guys will know whether that is relevant.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
all right.
I didn't risk anything.
I'm trying to think if I risked anything. No, I don't think I did. How about Wilson?
He's read the risk section of the manual, but that's about it.
Did you risk your life for
Wilson sat in a chair for the entire session.
Did you risk your life for your buddy? That's a no from Miller.
Oh yeah.
Is it the stepping in front of him? Does that include?
Yeah, for sure. There's like a creature that you have never seen before. Yeah, totally. Did you challenge or stand up to your rival PC? I did, but I'm at 10 XP, so I can't go any further.
Over the comms still counts, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Yeah, Wilson did.
Ah, nice.
Ooh.
Did you make a panic roll?
Yes.
Then you get a point of XP.
Yep.
Did you overcome a dangerous event using violent or non-violent means? That's a no for Miller, but I'd say that's a yes
Sure
for the
did.
3 that went up against the neomorph. The juvenile neomorph was the that creature.
It's as big as they get, eh?
Yep.
Just be glad that you killed it. Just be glad that you killed it. Neomorph doesn't have a very long lifespan, but it can get very dangerous.
Like a big
Even shorter
cicada.
around Cham.
Yeah, Cham gets more dangerous over a small period of time as well. Did you make a significant discovery or revelation?
Yes, they
Yeah,
have in the med lab aliens in jars.
I think that's a pretty
Yeah.
significant discovery.
They're
Yeah.
keeping these things.
Yeah.
Why?
Did Rye did Rye just shut the door and not tell them about it, or was she like, hey guys, what the fuck?
She was probably.
Well, I carried Davis in there.
Oh,
Yeah,
you guys all
she-
went in there. Okay.
Yeah, she saw it, but then it was like nothing useful in there. We're going out there to tend to the things.
All right. So I'd
Later
say-
on, when she's somewhere safer, she'll probably be like, "Did you see that?"
I reckon Cham, Rye, and maybe Davis. I don't know if Davis.
Nah,
was
Davis
focusing.
wasn't paying attention to that.
Cham and Rye will get a point of XP for that. What about Wilson? Was there any of the new stuff a revelation for him?
He heard some blah blahs from Clayton, and John's mentioned the ship with the details.
Right.
But
Oh,
he's not.
poor Wilson.
He's not good on the whole listening to other people thing, so I'm just going to give it a 0.
Okay. Did you perform an extraordinary action of some kind?
Parked like a boss.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you
Yeah.
that. Fitting the Daisy into the
Yes.
Cronus was not easy. Did you earn any money? That's a no. I don't think anyone.
I earned a golden.
Rye
pen.
earned a gold pen.
I don't know if that's money. It's not money yet. It's
Not
money yet. There's a pen though. It is definitely a pen now. And now, if you want, you can spend some experience points on anything that you guys succeeded in. So for Rye, that might be medical aid,
Ooh, that's a
piloting,
good one. Yep.
piloting for Davis.
I could also do mobility, but that just seems wrong. So let's do piloting instead.
Okay.
Can Wilson upgrade his air because he succeeded on that?
So
no,
much success.
no, we
So
cannot.
good at air.
Uh,
What would using the flamethrower count as like a heavy machinery or
that would
Ranged
be ranged combat.
range combat? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you could increase that if you wanted to. I don't think there's. I don't know if there's much else. Piloting, that takes us back to the start. Yeah. No, that's good. Cool. And what I learned about story points as well, because you can, even in Act 3, once we finish the game, you can get a story point for doing really well with your agenda on Act 3. The story point is for the players, not the characters. So no matter who you play or whatever game that you play in the future, you get to carry on a story point because you, as a player, have done so well.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So hopefully to encourage another one of these playthroughs at some point. Or just tell whoever's running one that you next play that you've got a story point that you want to use.
You just randomly
Back in
turn up at someone's
2024,
house.
I had 2 story points.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I will say thank you guys for playing, but also thanks to anyone who stopped by and watched. We have 2 copies of the Alien RPG starter set that we're still giving away. One to a Patreon and one to anybody who likes and comments and is subscribed to us on YouTube. So if you comment on any of the Alien RPG ones, you'll get a chance to win. We've already had a few comments coming in, so that's awesome. I think we'll give away like the Patreon one like next week. We'll announce that one live next week just to get that out of the way. And then we'll just have the YouTube one left. So if you want to have another chance at getting it, then here's the link to our Patreon. If you want to just chat to us about what we've been up to, here's our Discord. And if you want to check our previous sessions, there's a link to our YouTube as well. That's quick. Anything else, guys? You guys happy with how that all went down?
Yay!
He lived.
We need to get Wilson.
would.
We need to get Wilson into the action. I think he's just like I'm safe in this cryo chamber.
He's pretty comfortable.
How can we get the alien in the elevator and shoot it up to the top floor?
Yeah. How can I make the cryo chamber less safe? Is the real question.
Mystery
Can we
woman.
do like a
she's in the
real
cryo
Looney,
chamber.
like a real Looney Tunes Wile E. Coyote trap thing where we lure the alien into the elevator somehow and then
With a
send
pile
it
of
up?
birdseed?
Well, you could just paint a big tunnel on a wall and just wait till it runs into it.
Womp womp.
Yeah. All right, thanks, guys. You guys are awesome, and thanks to everyone who's watching. We'll see you the same time next time. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, and
Ciao.
All right, see you.
Bye-bye.